We begin with this story now. Workers from the West Rand District Municipality are demanding an audience with Gauteng Premier David Makhura. Since last month, the workers have been complaining that their benefits haven't been paid in full. They are now outside Mary Fitzgerald Square, saying they won't leave until Makhura addresses them. Let's get you the latest on this story now. Our reporter Linda Kulu is there. He joins us now live. Linda Kulu, we were following that sort of brigade of vehicles as they made their way through to David Makhura's office. Take us through what's unfolding there as those workers continue to protest.
Well, Michelle, as that brigade or as that convoy of the fire engines as well as other emergency services vehicles arrived here in front of the Premier's office, the leaders of the workers went inside the building to try and get the audience of the Premier. But we understand that the Premier is in fact not in the building, and they spoke to the advisor, Eric who is the Premier's advisor, who said to them that he is trying to locate the Premier as to his whereabouts, where exactly he is. But right now we saw that after the leadership in fact moved out of this office of the Premier, they did close this sort of burglar door in front of the building. But I am joined by Ubongani Mcina, who is one of the leaders here, just to give us a sense of what actually transpired inside there. Ubongani, just take us through what happened inside when you went to try and get the audience of the Premier.
Yeah, we met with Eric Klaya. One, we discovered that there are a lot of lies here. We were not aware that the team of the Premier constitute about 4 MECs. We later learned that MEC Chris, she's part of the task team. MEC Migwa, she is part of the task team. And all along, people that we've been meeting, it's these two, Lisufi and Namabul. Now, Klaya, as we were talking to him, he said he's trying to locate the whereabouts of the Premier to come and attend to us, because we said we are not leaving until the Premier has attended us, or if we are to leave, we leave the vehicles here and the Premier must go to West Rand and run the service himself, because what they are doing to us is unfair. Surprisingly enough, Klaya has just run away without even telling us that, no, I can't get him over a phone. I'm thinking that I should go to where he is and tell him that we have this situation. Nothing whatsoever. Instead, they've closed the door and they've reinforced the security.
I mean, I think right now what you have said to the workers, you said that you wanted now to make sure that they get the message that you are serious about this. And take us through, because you can hear the sirens in fact going at the background. Just take us through what is the plan from now on.
Now we're blockading the road. Remember, we arrived here peacefully. We thought that we were going to receive the audience, but now they are pushing us to becoming disruptive. So we are blockading the road. We are disrupting now. That is what they want us to do. So that is why you hear these sirens are coming. We will be closing the street very shortly. We have, it's unfortunate to the road users that they are getting to be inconvenienced, but that is what we are doing now.
All right, and just a reminder for us in terms of the services, the emergency services in West Rand, there are no services that are being rendered.
There are no services that have been rendered insofar as fire service is concerned, insofar as the municipal health is concerned, insofar as and other supporting components to these services are concerned. So there's a complete shutdown. If you call the emergency center in the West Rand, no one is going to answer the phone. We are here.
We will catch up a bit later. Well, Michelle, it seems things are escalating right now. As you hear those sirens just going off, it seems that they have instructed some of the fire engines, in fact, to blockade the road. We cannot locate them at this point in time. But I will ask Ndabambi if he may be able to just take the camera off the tripod as we try and find one of the emergency vehicles that seems to be blockading the roads. In fact, 3 of them are coming from this side. Michelle, it seems that now the escalation of this is that they will be blockading the road after they tried to go and get the audience of the Premier, but they were told that the Premier is not here. And we understand right now that the advisor of the Premier, Mr. Eric Klaya, did in fact tell them that he's trying to locate the Premier. But in the meantime, they're saying that as they wait, they will be trying to make sure that they're blocking the roads just to send a message across that they want what they want, which is the audience of the Premier and no one else. Michelle, I will remind you that in fact last week there was a team of MECs from the Premier's office with a directive from the Premier's office saying that they must tend to the needs of these workers, and it seems that interaction with these MECs being Panyaza Lisufi as well as MEC Jacob Mamabulo hasn't yielded anything, as the impasse seems to be still in place. But right now the situation is escalating, as you can see, and the workers are saying that they will be blockading roads here. We will try to move closer just to give you all of those visuals as they unfold, but workers are saying right now they are blockading the roads and they're making sure that their messages go across those who they need the audience of, particularly the Premier of the Premier of Gauteng, Premier David Makhura.
It is very loud where you are, but if you are still able to hear us here in studio, I mean, if it's already not a crisis, this is a crisis waiting to happen. The West Rand District Municipality, as we speak, has no crisis management in the form of a fire service, in the form of emergency services. This surely is a situation that needs some urgent government intervention.
Well, most definitely, Michelle. The leaders, in fact, have confirmed that yesterday what they did was gather each and every fire engine, each and every emergency services vehicle they could possibly get to ensure that today such action takes place. And this is, of course, after they did threaten to do this before, but it seems the Premier, in hearing that something like this would happen, sent a team of MECs, that is Panyaza Lisufi and Jacob Mamabulo, to go and speak to these people. And in fact, we did catch up with the Premier, with the MECs when they last visited and spoke to these residents last week, Monday. But it seems that there hasn't been anything that's been done for these workers. And in fact, some of them confirming to us that they haven't, their third parties, being the medical aid, being housing, and all of those benefits that workers really receive from the municipalities haven't been paid off. And that is why we are seeing this action today. But no attention whatsoever, no, really attention from the leaders of the province in terms of dealing with this. The workers from as early as 9 o'clock have made their way here. I did speak to some of the people in the Premier's office earlier on when that motorcade, or when this convoy was making its way to the offices of the Premier, and they did say that in fact they are aware, they've seen this on TV, that there are workers from the West Rand District Municipality that are making their way to the Premier's office, but it seems that they haven't prepared or haven't tried to respond to these people. In the windows of this building, the Premier's building, we did see the advisor of the Premier, in fact, in a telephone conversation. I don't know with who. I don't know if he was indeed trying to track where the Premier is, but we did see him through the windows of this office. But it seems that nothing has come out of this yet, and that is why the workers decided now to blockade the roads. And if this goes on to the rush hour, not only will Johannesburg be affected in terms of traffic, but also people coming from work, going to their homes, will also be affected by this. But the most dangerous one, again, Michelle, is the fact that there are no services rendered in the West Rand District in terms of the emergency services, as you see those trucks, very importantly so. And when we think back to what happened in Johannesburg when there was that fire at the Bank of Lisbon building, imagine now if there was no immediate response. Those workers that were rescued, in fact, in some of that in that building, you see, wouldn't have had that help if such a situation were to happen in Johannesburg. So those are the dangers they are saying. That is why the Premier needs to come and address their issues immediately, because the people of their Western districts are the ones that will be suffering, the ordinary citizens that might face situations that require emergency services.
Yeah, absolutely. Linda Kuhle, before we let you go, very, very quickly for us, just clarify for us, David Makhura is in fact not in his office, not available to have this audience with workers as they are demanding. What is happening for the rest of the day?
Michelle, in fact, I want to get answers to that. I see the advisor of the Premier is now outside the building. I just want to get a word of how far he is in terms of locating the Premier, because these workers indeed confirmed to us that they will not speak to anyone except the Premier. Babu Sky, we are live, but can we just get confirmation that the Premier is coming here?
No, the Premier is not coming. But one of the MECs that are responsible for this type of work is coming.
But these workers said they won't speak to anyone except the Premier, and you see, they've blocked the roads now. What will happen?
No. MEC Panyaza Lusif will be coming here, and MEC Lusif will be talking to these workers, and the matter will be resolved, inclusive of the removal of those trucks. We do appreciate the fact that the situation is desperate on the part of the workers. We do understand that. But as the systems to deal with this matter can also be a bit complicated. Remember, it involves national, province, including the municipality.
The MEC that you talk about, MEC Panyaza Lesufi, was in fact with the workers. They had a meeting and they promised these workers that they'll be paying their third parties, but that hasn't manifested. What makes you think that these workers are going to listen to someone they've engaged with before but has failed them?
My understanding is that the person who would have started the process is the one that must actually close the matter. Okay? So the MEC will talk to them as to where the matter is now and by when will it be resolved.
And you are hopeful that this will resolve this?
I'm very certain it will be resolved. Yeah.
All right, the Premier's advisor there, Eric Skaiya, who is the special Premier's advisor, in fact we understand, but showing some confidence in terms of the MEC, we understand, Panyaza Lesufi, who was acting as the ANC deputy chairperson in trying to intervene on this, but we understand that the MEC isn't the one in fact coming, and the Premier will not be coming here. So it remains to be seen what the workers will do or how the workers will receive the MEC, because we understand that in fact last week he was the one leading the talks between the workers and had promised them that they will be paying these third parties. But it remains to be seen really what is happening. The advisor of the Premier, there you heard it for yourself, saying that they are confident that the MEC will be able to resolve this, as he was the one really in talks with the workers here.
All right, well, thanks very much for that. Linda Kuhle-Kulu is our reporter tracking that story. Really a crisis waiting to happen in the West Rand District Municipality. The workers in that municipality, all or at least most of them, now on Mary Fitzgerald Square in Johannesburg in the CBD. They're demanding an audience with Gauteng Premier David Makhura. We understand he is in fact not in his office, and MEC for Education Panyaza Lesufi is about to make his way, or he is making his way there to come and address workers. Keep in mind that workers have said that they won't speak to anyone besides the Premier, but that interview that our reporter did there with the advisor to the Premier, he seems pretty confident that Panyaza Lesufi will do what he can to resolve that situation.